Hey guys, it's Raina Nisa here. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back to all my subbies. So today we're going to get quite personal. We're gonna have a girl talk. I put on my Instagram girl talk and I asked people what they want to hear me talk about. So a lot of the things are really personal. It might get a little touchy, a little emotional. I don't know how this video will go yet. But let's get right into the video. So I'm looking down at my phone because I have the topics that people were asking me to talk about in my phone. So I think we're gonna start off with the first question that I was asked: how to deal with stress from being in college. So for me, I feel like you guys have heard me say this before. I am a perfectionist. Like, I really have a hard time dealing with failure. It's like I really can't explain it. I really try to succeed at every single thing I do. Now, yes, that can be a good thing, but it can also be a negative thing sometimes too, because I am so hard on myself. It is to the point where if I do bad in school or bad on anything in general, like even when I was younger, if I would bring a bad grade home to my parents, which was not often, they wouldn't even like chastise me for, or not even chastise, because I feel like you can't really punish your child for getting a bad grade unless you know they like lollygagged and didn't do what they were supposed to. But I never got punished for getting a bad grade because my parents always knew how much stress I put on myself, and they knew that if they did it, that it wouldn't make things any better. So they always gave me words of encouragement, and they just told me, like, this too shall pass. This is only one failure. Nothing lasts forever. This is temporary. You know how this stress and failure feels now. So just as long as you tried your hardest and you put work into it, there's nothing you can do. Like, it's already passed. So don't even dwell on it. And I have a hard time not dwelling on things that I fell at, especially because I feel like maybe I didn't do enough, and I always put so much pressure on myself, which then leads to stressing me out. But I've had to learn to not do that and just push through it. So with dealing with stress with college, I push myself and push myself. I feel like I get to the point where, say if I have a test, I know that I've studied enough when I'm studying the stuff, and I can literally say everything without like looking at my notes, or I can just I don't know, you just have a gut feeling. Like, you know yourself. You know when you've studied enough. You know when you put in enough work to where it's going to work. Like, it's going to go no other way. So I deal with stress by just letting things be what they be. Letting things be what they're going to be, I should say. As long as I know that I put in the amount of time that is said that you should put in for each class or whatever, then I know that I should succeed in that topic. As long as I know that I put in enough work for that topic, then I will be okay. A lot of times I just take a step back. I go to the gym when I'm at school to like get away from stress or whatever, or I'll give myself a few hours of the day to just chill and watch movies and eat all the food I want to eat, even though that's not always healthy. But you know, you just have to treat yourself right sometimes. Like, you can't stress yourself out so much with school. Like, it just is what it is. So to just relax and let things go, I shower, do a skincare routine, wash my hair, whatever I feel like needs to be done. And yeah. So the next thing I was asked to talk about is friendships. So this person didn't really like elaborate on what exactly they wanted me to talk about with friendships. They just said friendships. So the advice that I'm going to give to you is know your personnel. Know the person who you're talking to, who you are friends with. Like me, I have different friends for different things. I can call one person to turn up with them. I can call one person to be serious and vent. Or sometimes you have one friend that you can do all of those things with no matter what. But I'm just saying, like, you have to know the person you are communicating with. Do not be mad at your friend when they are trying to give you advice, even if you didn't ask for it, because 9 times out of 10 when it's something you don't want to hear, it's probably because they're telling you the right thing and they're just trying to look out for you. Now, if you know that it's BS and it's something that you shouldn't listen to, then don't listen to it. But I tell my friends all the time, I'm not telling you something to make you feel good. Like, I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear and what you need to know about a situation, especially if you asked me for my opinion. Now, sometimes when my friend doesn't ask me for my opinion, I'll just sit back and listen, because we all need someone to listen to us. We all need someone to vent to. I know that a lot of us have this thing where we always feel like we have to hold everything in. We don't have anyone to talk to, and that's definitely not true. Like, you may feel like that now, but you will come across someone who you will be able to tell absolutely everything. And if it's not one person, then like I said, know your personnel. You know what to tell different people, each friend. Like, you tell each friend different things. Because if you know that you don't want to hear something, and you know that this friend tells you flat out what it is, how it's going to be, and you might not always like their response, then don't tell them. You have that option to not tell them. And I know sometimes it gets to the point where something happens and you just feel like, oh my gosh, I have to tell somebody. But you may know that it's just not that friend. And also with friends, I had to learn that everyone is not like me. Like, I don't know, their loyalty, the way they go about things, or just how they deal with friendships in general. I think we all need to remember that everything starts at home, how we were raised. Like, we were all raised differently, and we're all different people. That's what makes the world go round. If we were all the same, then there would be no lessons to learn. There would be nothing. Like, we would just be here existing just because. So yeah, that's my take on friendships. Okay, so the next one is breakup advice and an X for self-care. So I'm going to talk about breakups first. So I know personally that breakups can be extremely hard. Like, we'll all go through them. It's normal. You will get over it. Like I said before, this too shall pass. Like, it will not last forever. I know it feels like in the beginning that you won't ever find anyone else like this person, or your hurt will never go away, but that's not true at all. And I am speaking from experience. Like, I have been through the worst breakups and heartbreaks. Not even breakups, like breakups that you had to go through without even it being explained that it was a breakup. So what I mean by that is, when I was 15 in the 10th grade, I lost a boyfriend due to gun violence. That was a breakup. I'm never going to be able to see this person again, hear their voice again, talk to them again, anything. So in my eyes, that was a breakup. That was the worst heartbreak ever. Now, I look at any breakup after that as minuscule. Like, there's nothing compared to that. I can't get this person back. I will never speak to them again. So someone that I break up with now is like, I'm the type of person, like, okay, we may not be together, we may not be see eye to eye, but because I went through a situation losing a boyfriend due to gun violence, I know what it's like to never be able to speak to somebody again. So I'm looking at this, my breakups from here on out, where this person doesn't actually die. They just are removed from my space, as I know you're okay. I know you're out there somewhere. You're doing something. You're alive. So it is not really that big of a deal. Yes, you lost this person from being in your space or whatever, but I look at it as you're still alive, and we're going to get through this. Like, nowadays, I feel like in some aspects, if it's not meant to be, don't force it. But in other aspects, I look at it as if it's real, it'll come back. Now, when I say that, the toxic relationships, and toxic either way, from the guy or from you, you don't want that to come back. No matter how much you feel like it's meant and it should be, do not force it. Because you just have to accept things for what they are. Accept the fact that, either you're being toxic in the situation or he is. Accept the fact that things aren't going the way that you want them to go, because you just never know, like, what is in store for you in the future. You can be missing out on so many blessings because you're stuck on this one person, even after a breakup. Now, I'm not saying you have to go, like, break up with your person and the next day you're, like, talking to all these guys, because I said there's so many opportunities out there. Not even just with, like, relationships, but, well, intimate relationships. But I'm saying friendships, business opportunities, school opportunities. Like, when you're in a relationship, I know some people shut everything out, and that's not always a good thing. And if a guy is telling you to shut everything out, you need to cut him off, sis, because he is just toxic and you shouldn't be dealing with that, especially if you're young. So I look at it as, we're not married. You can't tell me, oh no, you can't talk to this person. Now, if you see that this person is bringing trouble into my life and they're being very negative, then you sit me down. And if I'm not realizing that, then you need to explain it. But if he's just telling you, oh, cut her off because I don't like her. First of all, that's my friend. You don't have to like her, okay? She can be the biggest hoe in the world. It doesn't matter what she's doing, as long as I'm not doing it, okay? And you should trust, your partner should have enough trust in you to know that just because my friend might be a hoe, it doesn't mean I'll follow in her footsteps. That's just her. We're two different people. So if a guy is like that, telling you to cut somebody off because of something like that, I don't think you should listen to them. Because at the end of the day, that friend will still be here when that guy leaves you. Always remember that, especially when you're young. So, okay, I feel like I went off topic. Going through a breakup, just self-care. They asked about self-care too. Girl, don't sit in the bed all annoyed, crying all day. Like, you're going to have your few days. But what Beyonce said, she give negative energy like 5 minutes and that's it. That's the type of energy we need all year. We giving that negative energy 5 minutes of our time and we letting it go. Yes, you're going to be hurt, but listen, turn your frown upside down and get active. That man, once he see you doing better, he's going to want to come back. Now, that's you make that decision if you want to let him back or not. So if it was toxic, girl, just let it go. Don't even, you see the place you was in, you know that you was feeling depressed and down and he didn't make you feel right. Don't put yourself back in that position just because you want to be comfortable or you want to have somebody to talk to. Don't do that. We all have done it. Me, myself, I can say I have done it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You know what you do? Go out with your friends, have fun, get dressed, look cute at every moment that you can. Go get your nails done, your hair done, feet done, massage, anything that you need to do to feel okay, do that. I'm telling you, like, it is scientifically proven that when you get in a shower, you get your hair done, you make yourself feel good, then you will feel good overall. And guess what? You'll go through that day. You done had so much fun relaxing, getting your nails done. You not thinking about him. Now, you done went a whole day that you never thought you could go without thinking about this man. And guess what? Day one will turn into 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, and so on. And before you know it, he gonna be a thing of the past, girl. And guess what? He's gonna be knocking at your door like, oh, I see her doing better. Let me go back. Yeah, they'll realize one day what they lost. Remember, it's never your loss. It's his. Always. Know your worth, sis. Okay. Y'all got me in my bag there. But I'm just saying, like, it took a lot for me to learn that it's really not my loss, especially if I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my loss, it's your loss. You want to be out here fooling around with everybody? She don't have what I have. She can't do what I can do. And I'm not talking about being sexual or anything. I'm talking about beauty, brains, like the empire that I can build for myself. She not going to build it that way. She might build a little something, but it's never going to be what I can do. So I'm not even trying to sound cocky, like I mean this in the humblest way possible, but you have to feel that way about yourself, because if you don't, then nobody will. Next topic, self-care. So like I said before, it's scientifically proven. You get in the shower, when you're clean and you look better, you feel better. I know, like, you can look up the facts. There's literally studies done showing that people, when they look better, they feel better. And girls, we know when our hair is not done, we feel like the ugliest person in the world. You get your hair done, lashes done, nails done, you like, oh yeah, I'm her. And can't nobody stop me. And that's how it's supposed to be. Like, no matter what anybody says to you, it's all about how you feel about yourself. Deep down inside, at the end of the day. All of these people can walk around telling you you are the prettiest girl in the world, but if the prettiest girl in the world to everybody else don't feel like she's pretty, she's not going to feel it. So love yourself first. That's exactly why they say love yourself first. And I never, like, when I was younger, I never really understood that, because I'm such a selfless person. I was always putting how this person feels before me, just to satisfy them. Whole time I was never happy. I was never happy with myself, the way I look. I always had a problem with my weight. I never liked that I was small. But until I started embracing that, now I'm like, oh, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm perfectly fine. And as soon as I became okay with that, all of those compliments I was getting, I started to believe them, and they just became a plus, because I was like, oh, I know. It shouldn't be, oh, thank you. Yes, it should be thank you to those people when they're telling you that. But in my head, I was always like, man, they just saying it, like, because I didn't feel it. But once I started feeling it, I was like, oh, yeah, I know. I know I'm cute. But this is what I'm saying inside. Always have manners, be respectful, thank you, no matter what. Like, that's another pointer. Even like just walking down the street and somebody gives you a compliment, say thank you. Don't be rude. Don't just keep walking. There's nothing wrong with saying thank you. Even if a guy is trying to talk to you, you could tell them politely, listen, I'm okay, if you don't want to talk to them. But always say thank you, yes, no, no sir, I'm okay. Like, because you never know what that person is going through. You can be that person can have had enough that day of people denying them, and he like, the next person I tell them that they look nice and they don't say nothing back, that's my victim. You never know what's going on in somebody's head. So I'm telling you, you always have to be cautious and just be polite. There's nothing wrong with anybody giving you a compliment. Accept it. So next, someone else asked me, how is dating in your 20s? Girl, dating in your 20s is a mess, okay? So I don't know if I'm like valid to talk about this because I'm only 20. Like, I'm about to turn 21, but whatever. Like, even just dating as a teen and stuff. This is for my young girls. Y'all need to, like I said, know yourself first. Yes, you're going to have guy friends. It's always going to be somebody trying to talk to you. And I'm not telling you not to talk to them. You can talk to them. But don't, like, submerge yourself in this person and be so deeply in love. First of all, we are young. Even me, still to this day, I had to realize I'm young. And I be wanting marriage and stuff like that. Like, I got time, baby. I got nothing but time on my hands. So don't be stressed out, worried about what this boy is doing. Because guess what? He's doing him, okay? And you're not going to know he's doing him until you find out. You're going to address it, and he's still going to lie. So do you. You can have friends. Don't let nobody tell you you can't have friends. I'm not saying just walk around willy-nilly having sex with everybody. And if that's what you're going to do, at least use a condom, sis. But, yeah, like, just focus on you for the most part. Get to know you first. I wish, like, I didn't think, okay, rewind it back some. When I was younger, I'm 15, dealing with the death of a boyfriend. Now, it was always, of course, my dad did not want me to have no boyfriend. And I'm always like, you my parent, you just trying to lecture me. Until I go through something like that and I finally realized, like, the light bulb went off and I'm like, okay, this is why my dad was always telling me, you don't need to be worried about what a little boy is doing or worried about always talking to him. Be a child, because those years are going to go by fast. You get 18 years of being a child and the rest of your life, you an adult. The majority of your life, you're an adult. Be a child. Have fun. Go out. Travel. Do as much as you can. Men are always going to be there. No matter what. No matter what age you are, they're always going to be there. You can be 80 and it's still going to be a man trying to talk to you. Simple as that. So, dating in your 20s, it can get messy if you let it. I feel like it's all about the company you keep, the man you keep around, the people you entertain. You can tell, like I said, know your personnel. I hang with certain people with certain things. If I know that I'm going to be with somebody who in all this drama, then I know that I put myself in that position and I need to be ready to deal with it. But you don't want to deal with that all the time. Like, you get older and you grow out of stuff like that. Like, that's kiddie stuff. I don't want to be fighting over this boy. No. Sis. And if that boy care about you, you should never have to fight over him. He should let the whole world know what it is when it come to you. Okay? Don't fight over no man. Because you know what he doing? He's sitting back still texting both of y'all. Like, yeah, I don't really mess with her like that. She tripping. Telling both of y'all the same thing. And y'all sitting here fighting over him looking stupid. Don't do it. So like I said, have friends, travel, do what you want to do, go out, drink responsibly, do whatever. Like, have fun. Have your friend group. Have your girlfriend group. Those girls you grew up with, you could talk to about anything. I don't really have that. Like, and it makes me upset sometimes that I don't have that, but I don't have that for a reason, because I have family who is my age that I can talk to and go out and hang out with. So I don't really need that girlfriend group. But definitely have your friends. Don't cut your friends off for no boy, because like I said before, he is not going to be around for long. He's going to be a thing of the past. And that's just that. Straight like that. Okay, next topic is, okay, so I think a boy said this jokingly: why are girls so insane? Now, are we insane, or do y'all just make us that way? or make us out to be that way. Now, I know some girls who just be out here going crazy, bleaching clothes, setting stuff on fire. I'm not getting into all that. Listen, you showed me you don't want to deal with me, fine, cool. Keep all your stuff, because I ain't getting locked up for nobody. I'm not getting locked up for no boy. Especially not no boy. So I can be in jail like, oh yeah, I'm locked up because I set his house on fire. The judge gonna look at you like, what, girl? Why? So I don't feel like we're not insane. Let's make that clear. I feel like we know that more women, act based off emotions. Y'all make us feel some type of way, and we act based on that. I know that men are young and y'all are less developed. Don't argue with me on that, because that is proven as well. We're more mature. When we're at the same age, the girl's brain is like a little bit ahead. I'm not going to speak facts. Don't hold me to none of these. I'm not going to speak facts because I don't know exactly what it is. But our brains are definitely more developed than the guys. So the things that we're taking serious at these young ages, the boys are still like, what you tripping for, girl? He don't even understand. He don't even have the mental capacity to understand. That's what we need to realize as females. They don't understand to begin with. So it's not that we are insane. Our vibe is just based off of y'all's. Y'all act funny, then we retaliate. Because this is what I figured out with boys. They do this little chase thing. In the beginning, they keep trying to talk to you, especially with like social media. He in your DMs all the time. He trying to pursue you and stuff. You're not really paying him no mind. It might be a little thank you here and there, but that's it. Then you like, okay, maybe I should give him the time of day. You give him the time of day. Things be good for 2 weeks tops. And then the boys start acting funny. Now she start feeling you because you done chased her and fed her all these lies. And now you disappear because I've heard men say it's not fun no more after the chase is over. After they done chased you and you done ignored them for all this time, now they got your number and they've been texting you for 2 weeks. It's not fun no more because they got you. Now it's like, oh, next victim. So now we all wrapped up in it and you don't even care no more. What? Now this is what little boys do. Okay, I don't know about the grown men, but I know they play games too. Like some of them, they get good when they become older and more mature, and they realize the worth of a female and stuff like that. But some of them, they don't. So we're not insane. Y'all know what y'all be doing. And guys, comment down below if I'm right. Do y'all play that game? Like, do y'all chase these females at first and then it's like, once I got her, or whatever, now I got her, it's not fun no more? Please let me know, because that's what I have heard from my own guy friends. This is the type of stuff that they tell me. Child, I don't know how to deal. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Okay, so the question is, what was heartbreak like for me and how did I cope with it? So I told you that my worst heartbreak, I'm not gonna lie, like I've been through 2-3 heartbreaks, but the worst one was losing my first boyfriend at 15 years old. I'm in the 10th grade. I don't know how to deal with my emotions. I've never lost somebody this close to me. So now I'm stuck and confused. Like, where do I go from here? What am I supposed to do? And before he passed away, we would always like keep little promises to each other. Now, I don't know how much those promises meant to him, but they meant a lot to me, and I still hold on to them now. Like, it can be the smallest thing and I'll be like, okay, I promised him that I would get done this, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I hold on to things like that and just look at the bright side of the relationship. But dealing with heartbreak, I would say I had to surround myself with family, friends, anybody that I was close to, just to keep my mind off of things a little bit. Like, I was always still thinking about it, but I had to surround myself with those people who I knew that still loved me at the end of the day. And I thank all of those people for that. Like, friends that I'm not even friends with now were there for me a lot. Just going to like the funeral with me and spending the night with me. I literally, like, dealing with this death, because it was the first death of a person that I was extremely close to. Like, I would, you're young, you fall asleep on the phone, you talk to this person every day. I'm seeing you almost every single day. You know my family. So it was very hard for me to deal with. For like the first month, I didn't eat anything but coffee, ice cream, and drunk coffee. That's it. Like, I did not eat anything else. That first day, when I found out, the night that I found out, my mom like tried to force me to eat just because I needed to, and I didn't. I couldn't. I was literally like sick to my stomach. But luckily I have the kind of parents that I have. I slept in, the first night that I found out, I slept in between my mom and my dad and held my dad's hand so tight. Like, I did not let go. I held his hand to the point where we both woke up the next morning and both of our hands were hurting. I tried to go to school the next day. Didn't work. I went home early, and I don't know how my mom was able to get off so many days when that happened, but she was there every step of the way. Both of my parents were. My family was there. I was always getting calls just from people I hadn't talked to in a long time, just checking on me often to make sure that I was okay. So that's honestly what got me through it. I had to learn to accept that it was what it was. It's death. It's very final, and you can't do anything about it. So it's to the point where, like I said, I'm motivated to continue to keep those promises that we had, even though we were young. Like, still keep those little promises to keep going, and that's what got me through it. Like, I knew I couldn't give up. And it was so crazy because we were so young. He was a year older than me, so he was 16, and he would talk about dying, and I would just be like, I'm gonna hop in the grave with you. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm 15 years old. I don't know how to deal with death. I never dealt with nothing like that. And then it happened, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm actually dealing with this. So yeah, I had to surround myself with people who loved me. It was nothing but genuine vibes, and that's what got me through it. I kept in touch with his mom for a while. I always checked up on her. Everybody knew like what it was. Everybody reached out to me. I also transferred schools, which I don't think wasn't a good idea at all. I wish I stayed at my first high school. But I transferred schools just so that I would not be in the same environment. And he didn't go to my school, but everybody knew that we were a couple. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can go to a different school and change my environment and change my peoples, because I wanted to leave that whole part of my life in the past. And now that I look back, I regret changing schools, but I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't change schools. So that is how I dealt with that. And yeah, if y'all want to hear like the story of what happened, then maybe one day I'll be like okay enough to get in front of the camera and talk to y'all about that. But I don't know if I'm there yet. A lot of people do know what happened. So yeah. Okay, the last question that I have, I believe this is the last question, is someone says silent battles a queen faces and how do you push through? So like I said, self-care and having genuine people around you who love you, or for me, is a really big part of me being able to get through things. I have a lot of strong people around me, a lot of people who are doing great things. That's what motivates me. I know that if I give up on myself, then I'll never make it to where I want to be for myself. I have a younger sister who I feel like I cannot let down. Like, yes, I have two parents, but I have a younger sister. Like, I kind of look at her as my child. Like, if I had a child, I'm just going to throw it all away and leave my child here with nobody. Even if I am with their father or their dad is alive, like, I'm just going to leave my child with nobody here. No, I can't do that. Like, the people around me literally keep me going. And let me tell y'all something. Mental health is serious, okay? This is to men and women. Do not be afraid to get help, to talk to people that are close to you. Listen, I'm an outlet. Like, you can talk to me because I have been through some things, and I know what a lot of things feel like. I know what it feels like to want to give up on yourself and you're just not motivated. But you just always have to push through those things. Like, no matter what, keep your eyes on the prize. It gets very hard. And like I said before, with anybody, male or female, if you don't feel confident within yourself, all of those compliments and stuff that people are giving you are not going to mean much. They're not going to mean anything at all, because you're going to be looking at them like, you look at me that way, like you think I'm such a great person, and I feel like I'm bottom of the barrel, dirt, and nobody care about me. So until you learn to love yourself, like, love yourself endlessly, okay? To infinity and beyond, literally. Love yourself to the point where they is tired of you talking about you loving yourself. Because nobody is going to love you how you love you. And even the people around you who do love you, you're never going to believe it until you learn to love yourself. And how I push through battles, I'm a very emotional person. Very emotional. I feel like if you follow me on social media, you may see that sometimes, like in my posts or whatever. I'm a very emotional person, and the only way I know to deal with it is to let it out. I'm not the type of person who can find something out and sit there and not say anything about it. I'm not the type of person who can speak on things and just hold them inside. And I know in the black community that is a big thing, and we just need to stop, because it's not healthy at all. Like, you bottle so many things up to the point where you explode. And I do that all the time. But I had to learn to, as soon as something bothers me, speak on it. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. As long as you're coming to that person respectfully, they should have no problem with you speaking on how you feel about something they did to you, said to you, anything. Speak up about the challenges you are facing. Be an open book. Allow people to criticize you. Digest it. Do not, I don't want to say don't take it to the heart, but don't be so like emotional towards it. Don't be so vulnerable towards it. Take it as what it is. Digest it. If you care about that person and you actually listen to what they say, they're probably telling you something good for yourself that you just don't want to admit. Listen to them. It may take time for you to like change what they're telling you about yourself. Like, a lot of times people tell me I have a very bad attitude, or they look in my eyes and they feel like my soul is just empty, like I'm just staring right through them. I don't listen to them. But that's not it. Like, it has taken for me to go to therapy, talk to somebody who doesn't know anything. And I don't mean like just anybody, like a professional. It's okay to go to therapy. In the black community, I know a lot of people feel like if I go to therapy, they're going to look at me like I'm crazy. Who cares? This is a therapist. This is their job. They are professionals, like a professional person for you to talk to get advice from. Why not do it? Like, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to let out how you feel, express how you feel. Now, I know some people, they gotta throw things and stuff like that. Like, it gets like that sometimes. You get very frustrated, and when you bottle things up, it gets like that. I understand that a lot. Like, I know the feeling where you just want to cry and scream and punch and kick. They have places where you can go. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but look it up. You can go to these places where you like go in a room and you throw glass bottles, throw TVs. You need to do something like that. Let that be an outlet. Do that. Something else that's an outlet is exercise. Exercise is scientifically proven to help you relieve stress. Do that self-care thing I told you about. Get in the shower. Make yourself feel good. If you're a man, get a haircut. Freshen up. Go out with your friends. Do what you love to do. When you was a kid, what made you happy? Do that. I bet you'll have the time of your life. Now, I might sit here and try to act like a serious person, but off of this camera, I am the goofiest person that some people know. Like, be you. Be happy with who you are, okay? And these challenges, they are extremely temporary. Extremely. Like, it's nothing more temporary than this. Nothing. These challenges don't mean nothing. You either gonna let it make or break you. And if it break you, you better get back up and try again. Because, no, you shouldn't be giving up on yourself. No matter how hard it get. You know what I think? Somebody did it before me, so I can do it. If somebody already did it, I can do it. I don't care how hard it is. You telling me that a human being did this and I'm struggling to do it, or I'm struggling to get through it, I'm going to make myself mentally strong enough, physically strong enough, emotionally strong enough to be able to get through it if somebody else went through it or did it. We gonna get through it. Like, is nothing more to it. You're going to get through it. You don't have a choice. How about that? You don't have a choice. It's simple. You're going to get through it. I promise. Like, the hardest battles, the things that make you feel like you want to give up and there's like nothing else is going to be right for you, your time is going to come. And let me tell y'all something. This is kind of off topic, but don't let social media fool you. I feel like we all have a very hard time with getting on social media and scrolling and seeing all the luxurious things that people have, but we don't see their struggle. Everybody is not so open where they post their struggle and post them days they're crying, stressed out, feeling like they can't make it. But guess what? They persevered, they pushed through, and they made it. So if you can make it, if they can make it, you can make it. No doubt about it. And that's the end of this video. Y'all got me in my bag. Listen, I hope y'all take something from this video and y'all really listen to me. But that is the end of the video, guys. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn that post notification bell on so you can be notified every time I post a video.